Live from London, it's Plank of the Week with Mike Graham.
Good evening and welcome to Plank of the Week. It's Friday night and this, of course, is Talk, the home of common sense. I'm Mike Graham. We've got a hell of a show for you. It's an all-girl panel again, only for the second time in the history, I think, of Plank of the Week. We've got Alex Phillips, we've got Chloe Dobbs, we've got Candice, Holdsworth, and we've got Samara Gill. Welcome to one and all of you. Alex, you've got the best story of the week so far, I think. Kick us off. Angela Rayner.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot get more hypocritical than this. You know, she's the housing minister. She's also, as deputy prime minister, apparently minister for election integrity.
Oh, yeah.
And so there she is, buying an 800 grand house in Hove. Everyone's like, where'd you get that money from, love?
Yeah.
And she hasn't paid stamp duty. She's short by about 40,000 because she's decided her home...
And they just put it up, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, her government just put stamp duty up.
And she's the one who wants to prevent people getting second houses, tourist destinations.
Right.
And it all gets very complicated, where she basically says her son who's got disabilities, the money from the home she had with her husband in Ashton-under-Lyne is in a trust for him. And so that then means that's not her residence. So she doesn't have to pay stamp duty on the one in Hove because that's her main residence. And yet she's not paying council tax as a second home there. And she votes in 3
And also
different
she
places.
has to have a house in Hove because it's nearer London than the one she's got in London.
The Favour house in London.
Doesn't make any sense,
Yeah,
does it?
I mean, it's just, it's like, mate, you've made a few bob.
Yeah.
No one knows where from. You wanted a gaff at the seaside. You've bought it. You phoned up a wealth management person and said, right, how do I do this without having to pay all the taxes? That's what's gone on here.
Right.
Except she's sort of doing the whole, oh, no, it's a difficult situation. There's a court order.
Well, she spent a long time denying that she'd
it.
done anything wrong, didn't she? And then she got all of her friends to be going out there into the public eye to say she'd done nothing wrong. And you're all sexist. You just don't like strong working class women. That's your trouble.
Right.
You know, and all of that absolute crap. Even Dan Hodges has turned on her, basically. You know, the great Labour right. He's said today, just to save me responding to the same tweet time and time again, I don't think Angela Rayner should resign because of her tax errors. She should resign because she has hounded other politicians for similar errors and sent out friends and colleagues to lie about this one.
Yeah, but
That's pretty much it.
For me, one of the most sort of worst part of all of this is one thing about dodging the stamp duty. I'm totally against stuff like stamp duty anyway.
Yeah.
I'd be quite happy for her not to have to pay it if everyone else didn't have to pay it.
Right. Well, you've just bought a house, right? So you've had to pay more stamp duty than you would have had to pay had you bought it last year.
Exactly,
right?
Because of them.
But not her.
Because of them.
But not her.
But it's also the audacity that as Deputy Prime Minister, she doesn't even live anywhere near her constituency. She's bought a house the other side of the country.
And there she is in Hove. You know what somebody suggested to me, and I mentioned this last week actually, that what if she has decided to get a place in Hove because it's quite a safe Labour seat?
Yep. Yeah.
And she might actually like having that seat rather than the
Reformer
one
on track
in
to
Manchester.
win her own constituency, so she's probably thinking that.
That's
And
what
some
I'm
people
saying.
saying, oh, well, the Hove seat, that's Peter Carl's seat, they're never going to get rid of him. But you never know, it could happen. It all seems very
if she's
fishy.
still around, there's a lot of people saying that she won't last.
He did say that Nigel Farage is cozying up to paedophiles
And
like
he's
Jimmy
best
Savile,
mates,
which
and he was
wasn't his
best
best
mates with that other one who got done by in the Labour Party for having sort of funny allegations against it.
Well, I'll tell you what, should we have a look at what she said this week? Because she finally admitted on Sky News this week she didn't pay enough tax.
I have alerted and referred myself to the independent advisor on the ministerial code to ensure that they can look transparently at what's happened, and also contacted HMRC to say that there is additional tax owing on this and that I'm prepared to pay that and fully comply with the HMRC as well.
So where's she getting this 40k from? She seems to just have some sort of magical vending machine.
Yeah, she pulls the cash out of another bag.
She claimed in that interview it was her whole life savings that went into this house.
Yeah.
I don't buy it. And to be honest, if you look at the hypocrisy of the Labour Party, we've had Tulip Siddiq, who's the anti-corruption minister, resign over basically corruption within her family. The homelessness minister had to resign because she evicted tenants and hiked up the rent.
Homeless.
Yeah, I mean, it's the craven hypocrisy of the Labour Party that people just don't want to put up with anymore. It's insane.
Yeah.
And she's the worst, Angela Rayner. She's always wagging her finger at people for not paying tax.
Nadeem Zahawi, for example.
Yes, any Puritan, you look a bit deeper, you'll find some hypocrisy.
Yeah, and she's this is really bad for her, given that this is not the first time that we've had a story like this. We had, before the general election last year, the huge row over the sale of her council house.
Yeah, the 2 council houses that she had.
And at the time, she said, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just a working class woman who can't afford an accountant, so I didn't know.
Yeah, right.
You'd have thought, after a story like this, when she was buying this house, that she would have double and triple checked that she'd got her facts right. She sits there in that interview with Sky News saying, oh, it's not my fault, it's the lawyer who advised me, they got it wrong.
Yeah.
You'd have thought, someone in her position, I mean, she's surrounded by lawyers like Keir Starmer.
She's surrounded by lawyers, yeah.
Exactly. You would have thought she would have asked for a second opinion to make sure she doesn't cause an absolute scandal like this.
Do you want to know what she said on the 22nd of January 2023? The deems Zahawi's position is untenable and Rishi Sunak's deafening silence is unsustainable. What did the Prime Minister know and when? Why were HMRC warnings ignored? When will he act to decontaminate his cabinet and ensure his minister's tax affairs are in order?
Shameless.
Yeah,
Shameless.
Really?
And
There's always a tweet.
People have come out and said, oh, her tax affairs are private to her. And then at the same time, Labour are now forcing us to digitise all our tax returns so HMRC can snoop on every single thing we spend.
Oh, and they're also spying on our social media, apparently, now to check that we don't have a luxurious lifestyle. So if you don't pay a huge amount of tax and, you claim that you earn 20k or something, and then they see you've gone on holiday, on your Instagram story, they're going to be straight after you.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Let's have a look at what Kemi Badenoch had to say about it.
I remember when the Prime Minister said that tax evasion is a criminal offence and should be treated as all other fraud. If he had a backbone, he would sack her.
Poor old hapless Keir Starmer. I've missed him, I've missed him. I was away for a whole week and didn't really give him much thought at all. And as soon as I came back, he's back in the dark doo-doo again.
Also,
he just can't get out of it.
It's like, how long do we have to go before a new Labour front bench woman starts crying? Because Rachel Reeves looked like she's going to go at it again.
Yeah.
She's looking all sort of hangdog and misty-eyed. It's like, for
I mean, it is
God's sake.
absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? Let's have a look at what Ange has to say for herself.
Oh no, everybody's got to find fault with it and slag me off for it. And why? Because loads of other MPs do this. This is not an unusual thing for an MP to do. But you're having a go at me. You're picking on me. Why? Because I'm from a working class background, probably. That's probably it's the snobbery or just plain straight up misogyny because I'm a woman. That's probably what it is.
That's probably what it is, yeah, absolutely right. That's Intel lady, who does a rather good impression. I don't know if she's going to be out by the time this goes out on Friday night.
I reckon. They dig their heels in,
There's an
don't
awful
they?
lot of people calling for her to go, though, not just in, the Tory party, not just in Reform, but also, people are calling this absolutely untenable. And it's not the first time that she's had a problem with paying her taxes,
I mean, Keir Starmer's you said Keir Starmer's, can't get the press away from him. But to be honest, he's probably quite happy because he's worried that he's going to lose his job because his popularity ratings just keep on plummeting and plummeting. And Angela Rayner is the one that we all think is probably next in line if he were to go. So he's probably quite happy that she's being thrown under the bus. So
but
if
he
she
just
does
looks
resign,
so weak, though, doesn't he? He's just hopeless.
Yeah.
He's just like a wet flannel. He's completely useless.
There's no one there in that front cabinet is useful. I mean, if you've got a housing minister who can't even get her own affairs in order, where are we as a country? Genuinely.
And the Chancellor of the Exchequer who literally can't add up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're dealing with.
And lies.
And a foreign minister who probably doesn't know where anything is on a map.
No, he doesn't know what's going on. I've got the business minister, of course, who's never run a business. Don't forget him. The fake solicitor.
Lawyer, wasn't he?
Fake solicitor.
None of them have.
No.
None of them
It
have
all
any.
goes on and on.
I mean, Bridget Phillipson, I think, worked for her mum for 3 years.
She worked for a
before
charity.
entering-
Yeah. None of them have ever done anything.
What are these humans?
I don't know. They're socialists, apparently. Chloe, over to you. Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg, yes, she has decided to go out on the Freedom Flotilla once again.
How she turns into Richard III, by the way.
I know, and she's got an absolutely disastrous haircut.
That is the worst haircut ever.
Fringe.
Maybe,
There it is.
yeah, you said it, not
Mental
me.
illness fringe.
Maybe she was thinking I'm going to be on this boat for a long time, so I better cut my fringe extra short, just so it doesn't get
It
in my
looks like
eyes.
she's in, the remake of Spinal Tap. Doesn't she?
Unless you've been living under a rock, you'll know that Greta was out on the Freedom Flotilla before, and then
she got arrested, didn't she?
Yeah, they thought that they were going to break the naval blockade around Gaza, just this one little boat with a few bags of flour on that they ate half of. And surprise, surprise, the IDF picked them up. And you have that picture of her with her frog hat on receiving a free sandwich, then saying, "We've been taken hostage by the IDF." Right?
And fed gefilte fish or
Yeah,
something.
but
Do you remember as well when they put her at the back of the plane, when they flew her back to wherever it was she was flying back to, they put her right at the back of the plane by
where
the
the
toilet.
seat doesn't recline.
Right, where the seat doesn't recline. Very funny.
But yeah, so they already, so they took off again, and after, 1 or 2 days, they already had to stop because the weather was a bit bad. They didn't even look at the weather forecast before they went, I guess. Very competent people. And apparently they are on the go again now. They're going to make another attempt. They're not going to make it. And, and Israel have said that they might actually, rather than being nice and giving her a sandwich and putting her on a plane this time, they might actually put her in a terror cell. I think it's to maybe teach her how Hamas actually treat people.
Right.
But I don't think she's quite understood that yet.
Yeah, maybe put her in an underground tunnel.
Yeah,
where they're
and
all
see
being
how
held.
she copes.
See how she likes it, yeah. Let's have a look at what she told Sky News.
You're going to get probably deported again. Is this more about PR than actually progress? I do not understand the argument that this mission is pointless at all. As I said, this is also a message of hope and solidarity.
They all
She never mentions the hostages. She never mentions the hostages.
Do you think that she's actually got that haircut to replace having to wear a hijab?
Yeah, maybe.
It basically looks like one, doesn't it?
She's acting like she's like a teen actor who, like, she was kind of impressive when she was 14 and she was going up to the UN and speaking, but she hasn't developed past that stage. Even when you see her now, it's a bunch
still
of word
looks like
salad.
she's
No,
12.
she was always weird. She was always cringeworthy. She was always weird.
But when she was
And actually,
14,
what
it
is
was like...
quite- And I said at the time, I thought it was really creepy how grown-ass men who are running countries and supranational organisations were holding her up like the baby in the lion, like some goblin oracle. Look at this.
Yeah, but you couldn't really have a go at her
14-year-old.
when she was only
They're
14.
wise.
You couldn't really do it when she was 14.
Yeah, but it was
now,
so
now
gross.
she's fair game,
Like
isn't she?
all those people who thought that Greta Thunberg was some sort of like child oracle.
Soothsayer.
Like, check yourself in the mirror.
Did she not say
she's
that?
always been
did
a
she not
weirdo.
say that the world would have gone on fire or something by 2025? Oh God.
The 2023.
Well, she is, get this, she is claiming that this is not, she hasn't just jumped on a popular bandwagon. This is actually all part of her pro-environment mission because the more bombs drop in Gaza, like the fumes from the bombs go up into the atmosphere.
Ecocide.
And it is bad for the planet. So that's why she's doing
Pretty
this,
bad
apparently.
for the Palestinians as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she did really compare ecocide and genocide and say that they were the same thing.
Oh my God.
And blah, blah, blah. Like,
Couldn't
she's
make
all
it
her ideas are completely scrambled in her brain.
Right.
Like, she genuinely, it's obvious that she didn't go to school past 14.
No.
It's very obvious.
But they've all done it. They've all shifted seamlessly from environmentalism to Palestinianism. And like a lot of the
This climate change is so last year.
Yes,
Yeah, and with everything, there is a tweet, just like with the Labour Party.
Yeah.
And when there was the last time they got intercepted by the IDF, they all decided, we got it on camera, they all decided that they were going to chuck their phones and their laptops in the sea. But actually, if you go back in time, there is a tweet from Greta Thunberg from some years ago saying how awful it is that there are so many electronic devices dumped in the sea and it's so bad for the environment.
Of course it is. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? What's wrong with these people? Candice, over to you. The Prime Minister.
Oh, excellent, darling, beloved
Good
Prime
choice.
Minister. What can you, I mean, there's just so much you can say, but this week was quite a good week for him. He unintentionally released a very comic video claiming that he's entering phase 2 of his government. I mean, it was like something out of the thick of it. It was amazing. I mean, it was like really desperate. Like, oh my God.
How does he think phase 1's gone?
What exactly was
That's
phase
exactly
1?
what everybody asked when they saw it. Was, what the hell was phase
is like
1?
phase of destruction,
Right.
you know.
Oh God! I mean, they're crashing into the ground, like
Right.
desperately pulling all the levers and the
Yeah.
controls, hoping to salvage this thing. What's also great is that they're now all wrapping themselves in the flag and claiming to be ultra patriots.
Yeah.
So Keir Starmer claims he's never anywhere without a Union Jack or a St George's cross.
Right.
And Yvette Cooper too. I mean, she's got like Union Jacks wallpapered all over her house. She's got bunting everywhere. He's always sitting in front of a flag, apparently.
Yeah.
Keir Starmer claims. So yeah, it's going
I
brilliantly
mean, these are the
for him.
same people who removed busts of, Margaret Thatcher, Winston Churchill, all the people who actually were quite patriotic about Britain, and they've kind of disappeared out of all the public rooms in Downing Street.
Yes.
Because they don't like patriotism.
Well, what this is that in number 10, they have set up a special team focused on just combating Nigel Farage. And you can tell by everything Keir Starmer posts that each morning his team, they go to ChatGPT and they ask, what can I write or do to sound like Nigel Farage today?
Yeah.
And this is clearly where this has all come out of. ChatGPT has said, talk about flags.
Yeah.
because Nigel Farage is patriotic.
Yeah.
And so they've gone, oh yeah, let's go round on the press and say that we've got flags all over our houses.
They just tweeted,
we eat off Union Jack plates and we wear Union Jack hats when we eat, and we've got bunting all over the house. It was
really
obvious
weird.
that they're everything they say is obvious that they're
people were
lying.
putting flags up and the councils were taking them all down. Is that still going on, or has that been sorted? People putting flags up on lampposts.
Well, I mean, somebody even got firebombed for putting.
I saw that.
For putting a flag up on a lamppost. It's still going on, but people just keep on going and putting them back up.
Okay.
They know their ideas are dead, that it's a zombie movement.
The whole thing is like hollowed out, isn't it? Shall we have a look and see how Keir Starmer launched phase 2?
Summer's definitely over, and this morning we've got all the number 10 staff together and talked through what phase 2 of the government is going to look like. It needs a more powerful number 10, so we've added to the team with some really important new members. I made a number of other changes, but this is about focus on delivery.
Somebody said that rather strange-looking, surrealist-looking sort of portrait behind him could be him. It's literally got no features. It's just a sort of a round head and some shoulders. It just doesn't really do anything.
I didn't see any flags in that video.
No, strange that.
Oh.
But summer's definitely over, according to Keir Starmer. That's the first thing.
We're thankful for it.
Yeah, I mean,
summer's discontent again.
It's going to be wrong, that, isn't it? Because we're going to have a heat wave now because you can't get anything right. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely unbelievable. Samara, over to you. Clive Lewis.
Well, I mean, it's still kind of on the subject of flags, but Clive Lewis, Labour MP, has gone and said that the St George's flag is a kind of... Basically, it's extremists if you fly it within your town. So it's ridiculous coming from him. It's this classic division, I think, actually, within the Labour Party, where a big section of them are actually also basically communist socialists who are extremely extreme. And then the front bench don't agree. So you've got Yvette Cooper, you've got Keir Starmer, they come out and they say, flags, I've got them everywhere. You know, they're on my teacup, they're on my couch. No. The majority of the party don't agree with them. And I think that signifies why they're so paralysed and they can't get anything done. Because even when you look at the disability payment, they couldn't get anything done with that because their backbench revolted against them. And I think that, yes, it's a little flyaway comment from him, but it shows the underlying kind of message that the party's trying to send. Even if, yes, Keir is trying to sort of say, I mean, Labour's ex today tweeted, Nigel Farage is unpatriotic. I mean, that's just a bold-faced lie. But it is that thing that you're saying. They're so threatened by him that they do try, like, at least their front people are trying to say, yeah, I mean, we're going to be Nigel, we're going to be Labour, we're going to be this and that. And I think ultimately they're going to divide themselves so much that there's going to be nothing left.
Well, they're already divided. I mean, the backbenchers absolutely resent Keir Starmer and his cabinet for things like this. I saw some lefty, I can't remember who, some lefty put up an article yesterday saying Keir Starmer is taking us down the road to fascism.
They
genuinely think that Keir Starmer has become a fascist, especially after that island of strangers.
Yeah, but then he made that speech, which a lot of people thought.
And then he said, I was just reading the
auto. I wish I hadn't said that.
But he actually is a fascist, isn't he? Because
hopeless.
he's the one who calls everyone far-right thugs and got his mate to oversee throwing people in prison for tweeting stuff.
Yes,
he is a fascist.
He is. This is the only. Do you remember that David Starkey had that controversy years ago? He said Keir Starmer was the only person who talks about actually prosecuting him.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is. Yeah, you're right. He is. He's a total.
And also, what a useless, crappy lawyer he is, because he doesn't seem to even understand the law. You know, he's meant to be this great human rights lawyer, but he doesn't seem to know anything about the actual law of the land, does he?
Oh, yeah, when it comes to Angela Rayner, apparently he said, I'm proud to stand by her.
Doesn't understand tax law, doesn't understand human rights law, doesn't understand freedom of speech, doesn't understand protection of whatever you're protected from the state by. You know, he doesn't get any of it.
And the Home Office don't understand planning laws and think they don't apply to them.
No.
Because, well, I think we'll get onto that, but they basically said that human rights are more important than planning laws. Your Home Office doesn't apply to you.
Dear God. Let's have a look at what Green Party councillor Anna Maria Toms said about flags in Darlington.
What's about we're putting flags up?
You haven't got permission.
We don't need permission, do we? I haven't put no flags up, but I'm just saying. Permission. And you don't need permission. No, you don't. No, we don't. You're going to go viral here, you know that, don't you? This lady, look, is telling us that we can't put British flags up on lampposts.
You can't. You haven't got permission.
Yes.
You do need permission.
Off who?
Civic enforcement, please. And the
Bring
police.
off who? Why do you need to ring the police? Ring the police for what? Ring them. I know. Ring the police and civil enforcement. We're not doing anything wrong.
You just wonder what's happened, really, don't you?
Why is there so much
I've just been in America
movement?
where, literally there's flags everywhere.
Yes.
And nobody's arguing about it. They're not going, well, have you got a flag up outside your house? What's wrong with you? Really kind of like giving you suspicious looks. What are you doing with that flag? People just put flags up because it's America.
JD had to chime in and say, these people are crazies and you should fly your own flag in Britain. You know it's bad when the second in charge from another country has to step in.
It's unbelievable.
It's ridiculous.
Well, everyone in America was going, what's going on in Britain?
Yes.
What's happening to Britain? What's gone wrong? And I can't tell them, so I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know why everybody's gone insane.
Everyone's a nutter.
Yeah, they've all gone mad. It's ridiculous.
Technically, you are not allowed to put stuff on lampposts, but everybody before this has just applied their common sense and thought, OK, if somebody puts up a poster about their missing cat on a lamppost, we're not going to tear it down, we're going to leave it. People who are genuinely doing horrible fly posting, putting up stupid stuff, will take that down because that's not allowed.
Do you remember
Let's just apply our common sense.
The last lot of people
who
took things down were the people who were removing all the pictures of the hostages.
Yeah.
Remember?
Well, yeah, exactly. But it's so motivated. The amount of horrible places I've seen the Palestinian flag draped around in London. You can't walk down the street without seeing it. They've never rushed to take that down, have they? So it's very politically motivated, all this stuff.
And old, what's-his-face has been in trouble before, Clive Lewis. Do you remember the last time he was in trouble?
He's a weird one.
He really is. Strange man. Anyway, coming next, we're going to do... Oh, we got famous last week, actually, because of Mark Wogan's story about how he couldn't sell his dad's house. And we'll talk about that. And also, this new Green Party leader who knows a thing or two about women's breasts. We'll tell you all about that coming next.
Live from London, it's Plank of the Week with Mike Graham.
Welcome back to Plank of the Week. Now, last week, you might remember, Mark Wogan was here talking about how he was trying to sell his house. And he can't, and not one person has come to look at it. And he said even if for no other reason, the fact that Terry Wogan, his dad, used to live there, you'd think somebody might have come to look at it, but apparently not one person came. But he got into every single paper ran a piece about it, every single online paper as well, and he even got on Good Morning Britain. Have a look.
The comment I made, I was on a show called Plank of the Week, which I think explains itself on Talk.
Who was the plank?
I can't remember.
The Chancellor?
Might have been,
right.
I don't know.
Ed Balls is not wearing a Union Jack tie.
Oh, how dare he?
Do you know what? I bet Serco or Mighty are going to be on the phone to our Mark going, fancy turning it into an extra.
I actually did suggest that. It's got quite a few bedrooms and a tennis court.
Yeah, there you go.
But anyway, there we are.
Nothing but the best for our
I haven't heard from Mark as to whether or not he's managed to get any interest in it since the publicity campaign, but there we are. But let's talk about Zack Polanski. Not a great name, is it, Polanski, to have? You share it with Roman Polanski, who was once accused of paedophilia in a hot tub. And couldn't go back to America for years, could he? Anyway, this guy, apparently, Zack Polanski, right, is a former hypnotherapist. We've done him before.
Oh, he's a creepy.
Talk about creepy, right? He says he can boost your cup size using just your mind. It's an extremely new approach, but I can see it becoming popular very quickly because it's so safe and a lot cheaper than a boob job, he says. In theory, it could also work on other areas of the body. There's no reason why it can't help your nails grow longer and stronger, for instance.
Just nails or other...
Well,
apparently he had a lot
I don't know
of
if it
phone calls
applies
from
to men.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
Maybe you can get a BBL without flying to Turkey.
What is it with the Green Party? It's amazing how they can have someone who's basically just a sort of unfettered pervert.
Yeah.
And then an Islamist.
Right.
It's like some sort of guess who of human scumbags.
Well, let's have a look. We've got an ITV news story about this. Have a look.
Zack Polanski was elected by members of the Green Party of England and Wales this morning with a huge share of the vote. The actor turned hypnotherapist turned politician says he wants to deliver environmental, social, racial and economic justice.
My message to Labour is very clear. We are not here to be disappointed by you. We are not here to be concerned by you. We're here to replace you.
Scary.
Replace you.
There's something very menacing about his tone.
It is something odd, isn't it?
He's creepy.
Anyway, here's what you have to do. It says, this is how you get yourself bigger breasts. Visualise yourself with a bigger bust as often as possible. Imagine you're in a movie so you can watch yourself walk and talk. Well, perhaps he'd like to come around and make a movie for you of yourself walking around? I don't know.
Do tell. Keep going, Mike.
Follow your instincts,
No.
particularly around food. Your unconscious may be guiding you towards healthy, high-energy foods to promote tissue growth. If this doesn't happen, make a conscious effort to eat more whole grains, fresh fruit, vegetables and protein.
Wow.
So you can actually eat yourself to
I
bigger
always
bust.
see on Instagram people saying it's a tip that they give to models that if you eat bee pollen, apparently that makes them grow.
Does
so
it?
maybe he's onto something.
Bee pollen?
Yeah.
How much bee pollen can you eat?
I've never tried it,
No?
but
Okay.
that's what I see on Instagram.
Then it says, practice the 7 to 11 breathing techniques whenever you feel anxious or angry. Breathe in through your nose for the count of 7, then out through your mouth for 11.
That is...
I'll try anything, honestly. I'll go for... but the thing is, when I saw him getting questioned by Susanna Reid this morning, it was pretty... Or are there more tips, Mike?
Oh, there are.
Sorry.
Yeah, work on improving your posture. Walk with your head straight, shoulders back and arms relaxed by your sides. It will help you look taller and slimmer, but it will also have a huge impact on your confidence levels when you walk into a room.
And they've got how many
He's
MPs?
given a lot of thought to this, isn't he?
But have you seen is it deputy leader? He seems to have about 8,000 deputies.
We've actually got something of him. His name is Mothin Ali.
I love this one.
Check him out.
Raise the voice of Palestine! Allahu Akbar!
I think he's mistaken the green bit for Hamas kind of,
I just feel like, can you imagine the chit-chat in like their executive conversation meetings or whatever, and there's old Mothin Ali with his wife sitting there in a burqa going, oh, mate, can you sort of give hypnotherapy to your wife so her tits get bigger? It's just that's what I mean.
I mean, the Green Party, the Green Party are very clearly just using their eco mission as a disguise so that they can increase the prominence of Islamism and communism in Parliament.
And green things.
Yes, like the Palestinian flag.
Well, it's just been taken over, hasn't it? It's just been taken over.
That was the funniest thing, though, watching him get interviewed. He kept getting questioned about this, his dubious background. And Susanna Reid was going in and in and in on him. And he goes, I just want to talk about the genocide in Gaza. And it's like, well, mate, just pick one, because you can't just, you can't go from one topic to the other. It's not going to happen for you. It's like, get your cards in order, Green Party, or don't.
Yeah. He says, our unconscious knows how to run our body better than we do. Essentially, I'm looking to utilise the unconscious process to make changes to the body. We don't exactly know what is changing because of the complexities of the unconscious. The bloody Green Party's changing, isn't it? That's one thing that is changing. It's not getting any bigger, though. It's getting worse and more ridiculous.
Maybe that's why they got him in as the leader, because they thought maybe if he, just thinks about, does this breathing and imagines the Green Party getting bigger, that it will happen.
Alex, over to you. Lord Bean.
Lord Bean.
Or is it Lord Has-Been?
No, well, do you
Mr.
know
Bean.
what? This
He looks a
one,
bit like him.
Oh, he's a... Look, I've gone deep dive into the world of the Fabian Society.
Oh, yes.
Okay, right. Now, I didn't know much about this, but he's of them. He was the chair of the Fabian Society at Cambridge University.
He looks extremely annoying, doesn't he?
As is Sadiq Khan is the vice chair.
Is he?
Yeah. Ed Balls was in it, Tony Blair, Gordon Brown, Starmer. Basically, they boast of having all the MPs, the Bank of England governors in it, Miliband, they're all in it, and they're all radical socialists.
Right.
They actually want, their emblem is a wolf in sheep's clothing, and what they want is to dismantle the nation state and replace it with global socialism. They say this quite openly.
Right.
And that geezer, that one there,
Lord Bean.
he's well in that, isn't he?
Well,
he's set
'cause
up
I
the
was reading-
chambers.
Oh, I was going to say, all these other people they've brought into government now, these advisors.
Hermer, Lord Hermer, he's
well,
in
not
it.
just Hermer. I'm talking about the ones that came this week, with phase 2.
Oh, yeah.
They're all from the same background. All they want to do is tax everybody. The Resolution Foundation over here.
The deputy, the new whatever it is, the chief economic advisor to Starmer was deputy governor of the Bank of England.
Yeah.
She was all Fabian Society. She was also in the IMF and the World Bank. And I was like, oh my God, there actually is a cabal of global socialists running things who hate the country.
Yeah.
Anyway, going back to old Beano there, old Big Bean set up something called the Matrix Chambers, which is as dystopian as it sounds. Old Kermit face Cherie Blair was one of them.
I remember that.
But also that Philip, Sands, whatever he was called, who was the one who acted on behalf of Mauritius to nick the Chagos Islands. So basically, this actually genuinely isn't a conspiracy theory. They are all people from some really weird global socialist, extreme radical.
Yeah. And they're all lawyers, aren't they?
Revolution, but in bits and bobs, gradually without anyone noticing. And Starmer's just bringing them all in. And they're doing everything they promised. They want to nationalise everything. They want to tax us all to the hilt. They want farmers to not have any land. They want to give away all our overseas territories. They want to bring in mass immigration and open borders to destroy the nation state and create chaos. That's what they want to do.
And they all want to have 3 houses.
And
they all want to have 3 houses.
Right. So this phase 2, my friends, is basically, you know, on the conveyor belt to the end of Great Britain.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at Bridget Phillipson. I mean, she's one of them as well. Have a look.
Your lawyers, under your guidance, have said in terms that the rights of asylum seekers are more important than the rights of local people in Epping Forest. Do you agree with what your lawyers said, or don't you?
Yes, of course we do.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's
this
great,
is
isn't
it.
it?
I mean, they're actually
Fantastic.
saying it out loud now. They're
Yeah.
saying the sort of quiet part out loud, which is we want mass immigration. We're actually encouraging this. We're going to do everything we can to prevent the general public having their own way and put an end to this because we want Great Britain to not exist.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
This was, I mean, one of the things I watched before I left was a guy who was being told to disperse by a police officer because he was causing distress to an asylum seeker who was in a hotel watching him out the window trying to put a flag up. And he went, so hang on a minute, let me just get this right. So there's a guy in there who's illegal, who came here illegally, who broke the law, is continuing to break the law by being here illegally, and you're saying that I'm causing him distress, so I have to walk away.
Yeah.
And it's like, sorry?
It's crazy time.
It is. It's the very image of these judges from on high telling ordinary people, you're bigoted, you're fascist, for having common sense opinions.
Right.
And it is true, they all come from these intellectual circles.
Yeah.
They believe in maximising global welfare, not the national interest. And I think people are starting to wake up to it now.
Oh, totally.
We don't owe that asylum seeker that you just discussed comfortability.
No.
We don't. We don't owe him anything, actually. I mean, apparently we do, according to Yvette Cooper.
Yeah.
But it's quite frankly ridiculous. What about the 14-year-old, who we can't really talk about at the moment because it's still an open case, but the 14-year-old or all the children that have to go to school next to that hotel?
Yeah.
I mean, we've had counsellors come on and just say, everyone is feeling unsafe, and now there's nothing we can do about it.
Right.
Bridget Phillipson has just admitted state versus the people is a thing.
Is a thing, and the people don't matter. This is a good one, right? This is an asylum seeker who wants to go home because he thinks Nuneaton's more dangerous than Somalia. Check it out.
You do feel like you would be safer in Somalia than you would be in Nuneaton?
In Nuneaton, yes,
But after a criminal conviction for a serious assault, he was stripped of his right to work. For the past 5 months, he's been asking to be deported to his home country, Somalia.
The Home Office, they ignore me because I'm looking for a ticket. I'm waiting 5 months. I'm age 50. Why I'm here?
It's not a travel agent, it's the Home Office. You know, I'd like to go home. I've been waiting 5 months.
But still, I mean, this is the Home Office that is, and a government that is boasting, we've got deportations up, we've deported 35,000 people, we're kicking out everyone that we can. They're even offering $3 grand to some people, right? Yet you've got some guys saying, just give me a ticket, I'm not even asking for $3 grand, send me out the country, you can add me to the list of all the people you've deported. And they've not even responded
And they
to him.
still won't do
he
it.
can't get hold of them.
Yeah, but mate, you brought yourself here. You got yourself here. You are to blame.
Right.
All these asylum seekers don't want to take any accountability. I mean, again, you claimed asylum because you felt unsafe in Somalia. So why are you now saying that you want to go back? It's just, get the story straight, first of all.
It's absolutely shocking, isn't it? Unbelievable. Chloe, over to you. You've got some summer camp that's banned a disabled child.
So there is a summer camp for disabled children. It's run by a company or charity called Over the Wall. And on the application form, there was a slot that says, what gender does your child identify as? And one mother just responded to that question with, seriously? ? And as a consequence, the organisers were not happy and they called her up. She then found out that her son will be banned from the summer school. And so it's very clear that they banned this child because of his mother's gender-critical views. But they have put out a statement saying, oh, no, it had nothing to do with the gender-critical views. It's because the mother was irate on the phone when we called her to discuss this. But also, we have considered the fact that there is a transgender child on the camp, and that may cause some issues, so we're not allowing your son on the camp. So they basically did admit it was because of the gender-critical views. It's just insane. So now this kid hasn't done anything wrong. Even if they disagree with the mother, the kid's not done anything wrong. He would have enjoyed a nice summer school, and now he is not able to go or wasn't able to go. It's just absolutely bonkers, complete wokery. I also had, I was interning on a summer school a couple of years ago, and we had an issue with some of the girls, I'll be quite frank, dressing like prostitutes to come to class. Right. And so an email was put out titled Dear Ladies, and they just sent it to the girls to politely say to them, please adhere to the dress code. And this whole group of woke warriors went insane because of the fact that the email said Dear Ladies, and we had assumed their genders by sending out this email, and they were like, we're going to ruin the reputation of the summer school, we're going to go to the press, we're going to call the police on you. The lady that wrote the email was in tears and had to make an announcement to them in the hall while they're all screaming and shouting. It was insane.
More insanity.
I know, all over the question of what gender do you identify with? I know. Why does this small question of what gender do you identify with, why does that have to cause so much havoc? Okay, can we just get in a portal and go back to the days where on a form you would just see male or female, and that was that.
Right.
And you could say, Dear Ladies, in an email without the mob coming to eat you like wolves.
Yeah, I know. Unbelievable. I was talking to somebody in America, actually, one of my kids, about this, and we've ended up having a conversation about animals in some way, shape or form. We're like, well, there's only two genders of animals, really. They're really... No, it wasn't that kind of conversation. But it was just about, cats and dogs and rabbits and pets, and whether you want a male one or a female one. There's no other choice. You either get a male one or a female one. That's it. You don't get one that identifies as a zebra, who isn't a zebra or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I realised the other day why Rylan had to step down from his presenting role.
Has that happened as well?
Yes, so after he made very common sense comments, then a few days later we saw him say, today will be my last show. And I realised why that view is considered so fringe at This Morning, because I then saw another clip where This Morning were interviewing a girl, or probably I shouldn't say a girl, a Pomeranian, as she identifies, a girl identifying as a dog. And you could tell they didn't have this girl on to take the mick out of her and show this is stupid. The interviewer was genuinely really interested, like, oh, wow, when did you decide that you were a Pomeranian? And she had her dad on the call as well, and the dad was like, oh, yeah, we just want her to be however she wants to be. We've always known she was a bit different and loved acting like a dog. And the presenters clearly thought that was normal. So you can see why a common sense view about immigration might seem extreme to them, because that's their view of normality on this programme. She was interviewed
by a woman called Kat as well, wasn't she? There we are. Anyway, listen, that's it for that particular section. We've got some more madness in universities coming up in a little while, and an Australian journalist who you might have heard of, who's quite funny as well. This is Plank of the Week.
Live from London, it's Plank of the Week with Mike Graham.
Welcome back to Plank of the Week. Candice, over to you. Professor Neil Chakraborty.
Yeah, so this guy, it's amazing. He is a researcher at something called, I kid you not, the Centre for Hate Studies, which sounds legit. That sounds like it's a good use of your money, students.
Yeah.
Get yourself into, £50,000 in debt. I mean, it'll go really well for you. So he's done a study, and surprise, surprise, he's discovered that the countryside is racist.
Of course it is.
It's full of microaggressions and triggering behaviour.
And white supremacists.
Yes, and white supremacists ranting in pubs.
Yeah.
But he thinks he's got good solutions for that. He said that all you need is just to have a few more prayer rooms around the countryside, some halal meat, and all will be well.
Unbelievable. Apparently, he's been working on this for how many years? 2 years?
Yes.
And he's made a film, apparently, which I think we've got a bit of. It's the rural racism film.
There's just like this look we get when we're walking in the countryside. If you're a person of colour, you'll know what I mean. It's almost like a look of surprise to say, I wouldn't expect to see someone like you here. And then there's those little digs like, where are your waterproofs? Or something silly about walking in wellies. I don't know. Maybe they think they're being helpful, but I just feel so observed.
Apparently it's had 400 views on YouTube.
It's big impact.
Maybe people look at you when you're walking in the countryside, because when you leave London, people actually look at each other and say hello when they're on a walk.
Also, can I just point out that wasn't the countryside. It appears to have been a beach with some sand dunes on it, which is exactly where you'd expect to see people of colour, because they've all just got off a bleeding boat, haven't they?
But it is genuinely, like, as I was saying to you earlier, Candice, about, like, going into the countryside in China and saying, oh, there's too many Chinese people here, rice picking. Oh, you know, where are the white people? Where are the black people? I mean, it genuinely, but that is the equivalent, because it's the British countryside.
Of course.
And there are British people that live there.
Yeah.
But I got asked recently, I was in the countryside and someone said, maybe you'd like some welly boots if you're going to do this walk. So, I mean, I had no idea it was a bigoted comment. I thought it was just someone being helpful.
Yeah, because it's a bit muddy. Yeah. You really might want to wear some boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
And the National Trust, they've jumped on this woke bandwagon. So what the National...
Didn't they do this in the Lake District, where they tried to make the Lake District more kind of user-friendly
they're building a mega mosque down those parts.
And they're building a mosque,
but
but they also wanted more people from, like, Manchester and Liverpool to go to the Lake District.
Well, what they do with the National Trust now is they have these they train up global majority walk leaders. So global majority is their new word for ethnic minority now.
Yeah.
Because if you've got a walk leader that is a person of colour, maybe you'll feel more comfortable going for a walk in the racist countryside. I mean, this whole idea, there have been so many stories about this.
Isn't it?
It's bonkers. But the idea is that because the countryside is full of white people, because when people of colour try to go and go for a walk or go to live in the countryside, we're all a bunch of horrible racists and we push them out. Actually, maybe it's because most people who come to Britain and move here tend to go to a city first where they know that there are jobs. It's not because the people in the countryside are a bunch of racists and have told everyone who's a person of colour who wants to live there to F off. That couldn't be further from the truth.
I know, it's absolutely crazy. Samara, Bob Catter. Over to you.
Yes, I really feel like we need to see the video before I kick off this plank.
All right.
It's quite something.
Well, we've got two videos. Let's watch the first one. This is Bob Catter threatening a journalist.
Bob, you've got Lebanese heritage yourself. What would you...
Oh, mate, don't say that, because that irritates me, and I punch blokes in the mouth for saying that. Don't you dare say that. My family have been in this country for 140 years, right? So if you say anything like that, I have, on many occasions, punch blokes in the mouth, right? So I'm restraining myself today. Don't say it.
That's great. That's lively.
Bob Catter is his name, the politician there. And he was asked by a Channel 9 journalist called Tom Connell about his Lebanese heritage. That was in the wake of these. We've been having similar anti-immigration protests in Australia. I mean, I do find the protests in Australia a bit weird because we don't have illegal immigration. So it's just a straight up immigration protest. But I mean, the comments under that video were hilarious. It was like, that's Bob Catter's Lebanese side coming out. Like, that's sort of like, because I mean, I'm half Indian and like, I need to do the hand gestures, the dramatism. So, I mean, it's pretty funny. I mean, that is Australia in a nutshell.
Yeah.
But who's the plank in that situation? Bob Catter or the journalist?
Oh, the journalist, because what was the journalist going to ask him as a second question after he said, well, you've got some Lebanese heritage? Then what was he going to say?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It was more of a statement. It's like all these gotcha questions. I mean, honestly, he probably just cracked because he has to deal with so many people trying to get a soundbite off him. But he gave it to them. So.
Yeah, he did. Well, he's known for outbursts, apparently. Here's one of him comparing gay marriage to crocodile attacks.
People are entitled to their sexual proclivities, I mean, let there be 1,000 blossoms bloom as far as I'm concerned, but I ain't spending any time on it because in the meantime, every 3 months, a person is torn to pieces by a crocodile in North Queensland.
I love him. Please can we have
He's
him?
great, isn't he?
So Australian.
He makes Nigel Farage look like a shrinking violet.
Also, the way his face changed, though, so he's just like screwing it up.
Yes.
That was brilliant.
I think, he was thinking gay rights, and then he goes, right, my constituents, actually. Oh, God, yes.
Oh, my God. Hilarious. Right, coming up, we're going to have a special mention for the week, and there can only be one of those. And there's a story about a Turkish drag queen who's apparently been invited to come and live here with 5 members of their family for 5 years. Let's talk.
Live from London, it's Plank of the Week with Mike Graham.
Welcome back to Plank of the Week. One of the things that I did, of course, while I was on the plane flying here this morning was I tried to catch up with my Twitter account, which seemed to be absolutely full of things about Graham Linehan, who was arrested a couple of days ago when he arrived at Heathrow Airport. A lot of people were sending me messages saying, you better be careful you don't get arrested when you land at Heathrow, because that seems to be what people are doing now. And he got arrested for basically putting out some tweets that 5 members of the armed police unit thought were in some way hurtful or dangerous or something like that. So there's been a whole slew of... I think he's now suing the police. He's got the Free Speech Union on his side, and they always win. And lots and lots of politicians have come out and said how ridiculous it is. Lots of sensible people have come out and said how ridiculous it is. Starmer, of course, has kind of, said it's sure a matter for the law or something like that, something ridiculous. But, I mean, what a ludicrous situation.
Why are they still doing this? Like, where is the conversation where they say, do you know what? This is a man with a big social media footprint, and we're going to send in a load of firearms officers with massive shotguns to arrest this person, drag them into custody for something they tweeted back in April. Does no one go, do you know what? That's probably not going to be good PR. Probably shouldn't do that.
See, they thought they'd get away with it because what they did was they arranged for him to be shuffled into a van at Heathrow so that he wouldn't, the whole airport wouldn't see the whole spectacle. But they somehow, and they also decided, oh, you can't go on Twitter anymore. But he's got a Substack, and of course the whole world is talking about it. Did they really think that they could get away with this?
No, I know, absolutely mad. And Zack Polanski, of course, the guy we spoke about earlier, he was on Newsnight saying he thinks he should have been arrested. It's a good idea.
I bet he did.
He's like the only person who thought he should. But, so much for that. Anyway, let's hope he has a happy ending of one description or another. Now we're going to talk about a Turkish drag queen who's come to this country because apparently we don't have enough Turkish drag queens, and it's one of the here he is, I think is the phrase you're looking for, Chuck. Not here she is. He's a Turkish transgender drag queen welcomed into Britain with a global talent visa. Applicants must be endorsed by the Arts Council, so they probably are, before the visas are signed off by the Home Office. This is Kubra Uzun, who's received the visa and is transgender drag artist and LGBTQIA+ rights activist from Istanbul, who goes by the stage name of Kubra.
Creative,
talented. How do the Home Office think that we are going to take them seriously? We might have Keir Starmer and Yvette Cooper put out some videos saying, "Oh, we're getting tough on immigration," but how can we take them seriously when they do stuff like this? They give visas to people who we apparently need in this country.
We have a shortage of.
We've got drag queens. They put aside a number of visas for DI officers because apparently we've got a shortage of that skill in this country, and also poets as well.
Don't forget the Nigerian wordsmiths. You can be a Nigerian storyteller and you can come in, but you don't actually have to have written the poems. It could just be, delivered, by mouth.
Questionable
I
quality.
spoke to someone on the weekend who's here on a global talent visa for HR. And I just don't understand. Yeah, I was like, what? I just don't understand how these. I mean, the requirements are so vague that anyone can get through.
We've got too many HR officers and DI officers. We need to deport some of them.
We get rid of them. Yeah, exactly right. In fact, deport all of them is what I would do.
Do you know what? I'd give it about 2 weeks and he'll be a deputy leader of the Green Party.
Probably.
He'll be in there.
He'll be in one of the libraries. Really.
And you know what's funny as well about this whole section of visa applications is they've stopped things like chefs.
Yes.
So one thing we actually are short of that we need from other parts of the world, chefs, we're not allowed to bring in anymore. But he's allowed to bring members of his family for a period of 5 years. And they can all live here for 5 years.
FYI, after 5 years, they can then apply for citizenship.
And then they can get asylum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and move into a nice hotel. I mean, it's unbelievable,
the
isn't
Arts Council, I mean, the stuff that they spend money on. And I know so many people who struggle to get funding in the art world. It's only if you're into all this weird woke stuff that you can get any funding. And this is taxpayers' money, and this is what it's being spent on.
I'm going to have a reappraisal of my life. Life's a bit tough, isn't it? I think I might actually just become woke.
Yeah.
I know. Try it on for size. I know. I do it. See if
you wouldn't be able to keep it straight. It'd be ridiculous.
It's going to be quite good.
I mean, for these organisations, for the Arts Council, any kind of museum, the National Trust, we've mentioned them going woke. For them, it really is a case of go woke or go broke. Because if they don't tick all of these boxes,
they
can't get any funding.
I feel so threatened. I need a safe space. What you have just said has triggered me as a woman of colour who also identifies as a man. You have made me feel very unsafe.
Oh, we thought we had an all-ladies panel today.
No, I'm sorry.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, it's been changed in midstream.
Yeah.
Right, well, listen, there's only one winner, I think, this week, isn't it? It's got to be Angela Rayner, isn't it?
Definitely.
I mean, it can't really be anybody else. Whether she's still in the job or not by Friday, it's got to be Plank of the Week. Angela Rayner. Well done, Ange. Tory scum. Thank you to all of you ladies, if you don't mind me saying so.
I do.
You do.
I've decided from now on. I do, actually.
Yeah, Alex, Chloe, Candice and Samara, of course. We'll be back same time next week with more plankering.